Coffee Break with me. Woo! Hi guys! Today I'm back with another proof of my shopping addiction. Just kidding. Today I am back with a very fast review. I don't want to waste too much time reviewing these palettes for you because my general idea about these palettes is for the price. If you see it, grab one. I'm sure you'll love it. So I am here reviewing the two limited edition summer palettes by LORAC. The first one is called the SummerGLO Palette, and the second one is the Afterglow Palette. These are palettes that are limited edition, and they are only available at Kohls or Ulta. In fact, they are only available exclusively to each of these locations. So if you're interested in the SummerGLO Palette, the tan one, this is only available at Kohls. And if you're interested in the turquoise one, this one is only available at Ulta. I do have to say though, I like this one better just because it's so stunning. The packaging on the outside is so stunning. I hate when people do reviews where they're like, the packaging, but I do have to admit that between the brown and the turquoise, I'm always gonna go for this color. But funny story with these palettes is, when I saw them come out, they look a lot like the Glow Getter palette from last year. Last year, LORAC released a limited edition summer palette called the Glow Getter, only at Ulta, and it was brown packaging, like chocolate brown packaging, and then the lettering was this turquoise color. I don't have it anymore because I gave it to my mom, but I have a big feeling that the colors are very, very similar. And the same thing happened to me this year. I got both palettes, and I got both because I had a feeling they were the same colors, just organized in different areas in the palette. You know what I mean? Like they just rearranged the colors a little bit. So I was like, did LORAC bamboozle me? You guys know I hate to be bamboozled. So I was like, what the frick? The Afterglow palette I ordered from Ulta using my 20% off, and this arrived while I was in New York City. So I hadn't seen it. And then this one took a while to arrive at Kohls here in Dallas. So if you have a Kohls nearby and you still haven't seen it, it'll get there, I promise. It's kind of a slow arrival. You cannot use a discount or coupons at Kohls on prestige cosmetics, but you can use your rewards, your Kohls Cash, things like that. And for $24, $24 isn't pennies, but it is cheaper than like $50 Urban Decay palettes. And then this one, you also can't use a coupon unless you have one of those special Ulta 20% coupons that happen. They used to happen twice a year. Now I feel like they happen once a month because they get me every single time. But it is points that you can accumulate towards your Ulta Rewards program or membership program. So what are my general thoughts? The general thoughts are they're $24 palettes. They are beautiful colors. They are neutral enough that you could wear it every single day. And they are blendable enough that if you're a beginner, you're totally gonna love it. And if you are a pro, you'll find creative ways to use it. Do you know what I mean? Like, this isn't a palette where I feel like I wasted my money. Well, I obviously wasted $24 because I got two. You only need one of them. But Coffee Break Research Purposes called and they needed a review. So the brown one again is the one that's available at Kohls, and let me show you guys the inside a little bit. That's just a general idea of what it looks like. And then the turquoise one is the one that's available at Ulta. And I will have to say this, through years of experience, the ones at Ulta run out a lot faster than the ones that you could find anywhere else. So let me show you guys a little bit of a comparison between the two. You guys see that? This brown one is the Kohls, this turquoise is the Ulta one. So if you guys can see, when you see them, you're like, oh no, you got bamboozled, Dani. They're the same exact palette, but they really are different. Did you see? Can you see what I'm saying? It takes a while to kind of pick up on the difference. This is a more bold palette. This is a more neutral palette. This is a little bit softer, a little bit more delicate, a little bit more wearable. This one over here is a little bit more bam in your face. But true to LORAC history, None of their limited edition palettes are as magnificent as like their Pro palette or their Pro to go. Those shadow formulas are amazing. I swear they are made with the first haircut of a newborn baby. Do you know what I mean? Like, those shadows are so soft. They almost feel like a cream. They're so soft and silky without any fallout. Their limited edition palettes, it's a totally different formula, but it's not bad. It's just not as woo, blow you out of the water. Welcome to my face. So let me show you guys a close-up. This is the brown one, the one from Kohls, and the packaging that it comes with, the SummerGLO packaging looks like this. The packaging is very similar. If you see it from the outside, one is a little bit darker than the other. You guys can see. One's like purpley and the other one's like a tan. And then all of them come with a little plastic cover to protect your shadows. And then both of them say LORAC in writing up at the top on the mirror. It has a really nice full-size mirror. You get two really pretty giant shadows at the bottom. The one that is more wearable, the one from Kohls, you can tell the colors are a little bit more muted. But it still has that like pizzazz about it that will make your spring and summer looks really special. So let me show you guys, this color here is by far my favorite. And you're gonna be like, Dani, the queen of bold and colorful glitter, you're gonna say this is your favorite, but this color reminds me of Naked from Urban Decay, and that's my favorite shadow of all time. So you guys can see, it's just a really pretty, it's a super pretty crease color, blendable transition crease color. Then this really pretty peach, which looks very similar to Free Love from Urban Decay. Let me show you guys. This, you can see that right there. This palette is just a softer palette. So it's almost like you have the shy, introverted sister palette, and then you have the crazy, wild Dani Panda palette. No idea what I was talking about because my phone just rang and I got a really, really nice phone call. So I think I'll just resume where I think I left off. Both of these palettes come with two giant shadows, like neutral shadows that are good for like the brow bone highlight, or if you were a little bit more fairer than normal, you could use these as crease colors or transition colors. The lighter the color is, so the way to look at these palettes without getting disappointed is the way the color looks in the pan, it's going to show up a little bit lighter on the skin. So it's not like Urban Decay palettes or shadows where the way it looks is the way it's gonna show up. Really intense, no. These are neutral wearable shadows. So the way it looks in the pan, it's gonna look a little bit lighter on your skin color. If you were a little bit more tan or darker skin, I don't think a lot of these would give you too much justice or bang for your buck on your skin tone because they are very soft, neutral colors. So let me show you guys kind of my favorites in the light neutral palette. This is the one from Kohls, and I keep repeating it so you guys can remember. It's the teacher coming out in me. I know you guys are like, meh. So this color right here is kind of like a bronze color. Look at how it looks in the pan, and then when you swatch it, it's not going to be as, well, that's the worst swatch of life, sorry guys. The way, when you swatch it on your skin, it's not going to be as intense as it looks in the pan, but it does have that beautiful, like, glistening glow. Obviously, there is a really pretty turquoise in here, and you can see on my finger, and then the way it translates on the skin is a little bit lighter, but it still shows up. So if you are someone that's venturing out into colorful shadows, but you don't want to jump into the electric palette, this is a really good place to start. This is the purple in this pan. And this is almost like it feels like a duochrome purple. It has kind of like a blue glisten to it. It's very unique. So this is again the one from Kohls. Perfect for the beginner or someone that wants to incorporate pops of color into a day-to-day life. So if you work, if you have a professional job, you could still add pops of color to your look without looking, you know, like you're going to the club. And then this is the one from Ulta. This is the one that is still neutral enough to be wearable, but the colors are a little bit darker. So they're a little bit deeper, but they are still wearable. Look at this color. This is like the perfect, like, teal. You see that? That's stunning. Again, this palette also has a purple, but this isn't a duochrome purple. This is just a flat, matte purple. A little bit more of like a satin, I think. Once you apply it to the skin, it feels more like a satin shade. So colors that you would think were more bold, they don't show up as bold as you think they are. This is the peach color in the palette. And there's that gold right there. I know the reviews that people are going to give on these palettes aren't going to be the most pleasant because they're going to be comparing it to other LORAC shadow palettes like the Pro To Go or just the Pro palette. And I don't think that's fair. This is a limited edition palette, and if you know anything about LORAC shadows, is that their limited edition palettes are always a different formula. So these are the two limited edition summer palettes from LORAC. If you guys are interested in incorporating pops of color into your day-to-day looks for work, for school, for an interview, for whatever, just because it's spring and summer, these are the seasons to get away with it, and these are the palettes to do it with. So as opposed to having your neutral palettes like the Naked palette or the Naked 2 palette, and then having a colorful liner or adding a single colorful shadow or having another palette just of colorful items, this is like your one-stop palette. It's a $24 or $25 palette. I think it's $24. It's a $24 palette that has your perfect neutral shades for your crease, for your transition, to highlight the brow bone, to highlight the inner corner, and then really pretty bold colors to add a pop of color that aren't too bold. Does that make sense? You guys always understand me. I forget to say words sometimes and you still understand me. So if you're interested in adding pops of color into your daily looks, these two palettes are for you. But like I said, you definitely don't need both of the palettes. This one is good for the beginner or someone with a more serious job, like say if you were an attorney or somewhere where you're constantly seeing people or customers or clients or whatever. It's perfect because it's subtle, but it still has that flare of color. And then if you just like adding pops of color, but you work somewhere where it's not as where your style is not as restricted, you could probably go with the bolder of the two that's available at Ulta. I really hope you guys enjoyed this palette review. I know I said it was gonna be quick, but who are we kidding? That never happens. So if you guys found this video useful or entertaining or learned something, please give me a thumbs up or subscribe if you haven't already.